Hey you guys, so I'm so sorry that I haven't been on here in forever. Um, Speaking to YouTube because I will be uploading this also to Instagram, but I have not been on my YouTube in quite a few weeks. But I wanted to come on because 21 years ago today, I met the Backstreet Boys for the first time. And that's not why I'm coming on to talk about them. I'm coming on because that was from pretty discriminatory event in my life. I don't think I've ever talked about this on this channel before, but in 1999, or was it 2000? I think the tour started in 1999. I was supposed to go to the Backstreet Boys Into the Millennium Tour. We went, and come to find out, their wheelchair accessible seating was not in a wheelchair accessible area. And if you've ever been to a Backstreet Boys concert, you know that girls are running left and right like crazy. So you, especially if you're in a wheelchair, have to be in a secure spot. Otherwise, you're in trouble. People get trampled all over the place. So we went to go find some way to be moved to a safer area because that's what it was all about. It was about safety. That was where we were put was not safe. So, long story short, the general manager came and threw my tickets in my lap and said, "You have the best seats in the house. You don't like them, leave." This was and mind you, I was 14 years old. This was my first real experience with discrimination. Mostly because it just hurt that I would have to end up leaving a Backstreet Boys concert. I was 14, give me a break. So, ended up leaving. My mom fought it like she normally did for me all my life. That's why I'm so tough. So, ended up she fought it, and sometime between then and the Black and Blue tour, which was 2001, we got notified that the general manager had been fired, and we were offered front row and backstage to any show of my choice at that arena. I'm not going to blow up the arena. I'm not like that. There's a time to fight. It was an isolated incident. I do believe in fighting for that directly at the place, but I would never, do a boycott or a protest or whatever. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that on here anymore, but so a year and a half later on the Black and Blue tour, we got front row backstage, got to meet the boys. Nicest people in the world. And fast forward to how long ago was it? It might have been 10 or so years ago. I went back to that arena, and the wall that they had put up in the area that I was in 1999 was taken down because the arena was built before 1990, which, as people living with disabilities know, if a building was built before 1990, they don't have to adhere to the Americans with Disabilities Act. Now, as a 35-year-old adult, I am willing, because I have a plethora of experience now, because I was born with my disability, I have a plethora of experience of what to do in these types of situations. I'm willing to help any area. And a couple of years ago, I actually had an experience with an arena that was not wheelchair accessible. It was a casino in Atlantic City, so go back on my channel and you'll hear that story. But I do think that every arena should have wheelchair access, have wheelchair safety, regardless of being built before 1990. And not but and you don't have to knock down a building in any way, shape, or form because they are not accessible. There's different things that you can do to make a place accessible. There's temporary things that you could put up that are removable, that can help somebody in a wheelchair get to a spot that is safe and within the line of vision for them to see. There's no excuse anymore. It's 2022. Places need to get with the program, but also this is a multifaceted, all-encompassing issue because the world is never going to be 100% accessible for everyone. And that should not stop you from living your life. If there is one lesson that I have learned in life, it's that. That is probably my biggest lesson, is let nothing and no one stop you, no matter what. And it's because of incidents like that. Now, I'm not saying, oh, it's okay to use your disability to get that, you know. Do I think it's a little bit of a perk that we should get front row because we're sitting down and there's people that are going to be standing in the rest of an arena? Yeah. But I wouldn't say, oh, I'm in a wheelchair, pity me, and, you know, give me front row for that reason. Structurally, there should be, and I've seen it, so I know it can be done. There should be a designated spot for all people in wheelchairs with things like this taken into account. Safety, line of vision. Safety is really the biggest one because concerts can get crazy. Thank God I've never been to one that had like a mosh pit or anything. But I mean, there's different. I don't really want to shout out an arena. Because there's things that I don't like in recent years. But one of the structurally best arenas I've seen is another one close to where I live. I've been to many times, and all people with any type of disability, whether it's in a wheelchair, whatever it might be, they get front row. If you're in a walker, if you have crutches, if you have a cane, whatever it is, they get front row. Or at least the first few rows. And back to the fact that the world is never going to be perfect, that doesn't mean that you don't continue to advocate. But advocating and fighting are two very different things to me. Because we have to understand that not everybody's going to understand our plight in life, which I hate that term, but, you know, if you have adversities or whatever, not everybody's going to understand that. So it's on you to explain it. It's on you to say why you want certain things. And it's not just because you want to be treated special. It's because there's certain things that you need that somebody who's not walking in your shoes or wheeling in your shoes would understand. So don't think too much of, you know, that everybody should know, because they don't. And that's where we come in to actually help places become more accessible by explaining this is what we need and this is why. Because it should be obvious now, they don't just know. So instead of being upset that they don't just know, explain it. Help. And then in the end, you're helping them because more of us will go to these places then. You know? I'm gonna try my hardest to make more videos on here now. I usually don't take this long off. And I miss coming on YouTube. So if you're new here, please subscribe. If you are already subscribed, thanks for sticking with me. And I will see you guys in the next video.